Welcome, everyone. All those joining us for our weekly get together, coordination of consciousness, coordination of awareness, settling in the present moment, providing ourselves a healing space in which the body can restore itself, the mind finds its contentment and balance, emotions become settled, and the body aligns itself. So, today I want to explore the nature of suffering a little bit. You know, why do we suffer? What causes suffering? Let's look at it this way. What causes suffering? What is the root cause of our suffering? And by suffering, I am not referring to physical pain. I'm referring to our psychological states. When we feel distressed, when we feel stressed, when we feel guilty, why are these necessary and what causes them? What is the cause of our suffering? And as we begin to look at ourselves, as we begin to see ourselves for our innate nature, we discover that there are different elements to us. There's the physical body, and then there's the mental body, the bit that's talking to you constantly, you know. Um, the inner voice, whatever you want to call it, your inner body. And in the Gurmat worldview, we have not one body, but we have three bodies. We have the physical body, which is called a stool sarir, which means it's the gross body. We have the inner psychological body, which is known as suksham sarir, which is the subtle body, the astral body. The physical body can do certain things, but it can't go through walls, for example. However, the astral body can do things that the physical body can't do. So the astral body can travel through walls, can travel in different places instantaneously, and so on and so forth. This body is your current body, your causal body. This is when you are asleep or in deep meditation. When we're in sleep or deep meditation, we touch this body. And this body is the body very similar to sleep, in which we feel rested and we feel restored. Then we have the ability to access the dream body, the inner body, our mental body, our psychological body, which is also called antakaran, the inner mechanism. Let's call it that, the inner mechanism. So when we're in the physical body, when we're awake, like, well, or what we think we awake means, when we're in this state, we can access the dream body. We can sit here, we can fantasize, we can fall asleep and have a dream. We can imagine things. So the mind is active. But we can also access the deep current sleep, the third body that you have. So when you die, the physical body will dissolve, part of the mental body will dissolve, but part of it will remain, which encompasses or encloses what you would consider your conscious self. Yeah. And this is the bit that goes through the process of transmigration, whatever you want to call it, reincarnation, whatever you want to call it. So this process of the body, because everything goes through start, middle, end, restart, middle, end. Everything else is no different. Everything is recycled. We are recycled. As living entities, we are recycled, but not as necessarily the ego. Remember that. Mechanism of operating in everyday life. You need this sense of I am so and so and so and so in order to operate. However, this ego starts building very quick attachments. So it attaches itself to its physical form, particularly when it considers itself to be beautiful or young. It attaches itself to a belief system. And a belief system are your religions, your politics. Democracy is better than theocracy, and theocracy is better than communism, and so on and so forth. These are just belief systems, right? Marxism, etc. These are just belief systems. These are mechanisms, and you believe one to be better than the other. Now, it is this is the root cause of differences. Now, this sense of self, this ego, starts feeling quite insecure very quickly. So it's always trying to develop its security. And so, how does it develop its security? Well, it gets qualifications and titles. It wears designer clothes because it gives it some value, some value. So, if you wear an expensive shirt, what you're saying is, look how much money I've got. But actually, in reality, what you're saying is, look how poor I am, that the only way I can present myself is using someone else's name. It's if you look at the actual motive behind the action, you always realize the world is so corrupted. It doesn't quite make sense. The word we use is the word haumai. Ha means present, man, I am. I am this, I am that, I am. It's the I amness. So, for example, here's a mug. The form of this mug, and when it starts to only think about itself, it becomes haumai. It's a mechanism. So ego isn't something static. It's like a mechanism. It's something that's constantly on, like your mouth is watering. It's constantly on. So this haumai is constantly looking at ways of asserting itself, ensuring that it is preserved, that it is superior to the other. It has more control. And this haumai is the one that likes to maintain control by through its attachments. That's part of the mechanism. Now, with attachments, attachment attached to your skin, you get attached to your color, you get attached to your the way you look. Now, as you begin to change, so for example, those people who are really hooked on their looks at a young age, as they begin to age and get wrinkles and white hair, etc., they begin to panic. They begin to distress themselves. They go through there's a whole industry that's there to help you make. Why do you deny what is natural? Because you seek security, you seek connection, you seek stability, and therefore you want to. And the nature of life isn't that death will come one day. It isn't that. Everything that is born is constantly going through a process of regeneration and decay, from your breath to every cell in your body, to all that's around you. Me, then trying to hold on to life, trying to hold on to a particular type of life, trying to hold on to all of these things can become the source of our suffering. So I started with this question: what is the source of your suffering? The source of your suffering needs two things. It needs your sense of ego, I amness, yeah, haumai, and it needs something it can attach. So it needs a process of attachment. And that attachment, when it is threatened, will bring about a number of things. It will either bring about fear and anxiety, or it will bring about anger. So you notice people who are trying to defend the statues, it's their attachment. The statues aren't going to give them anything. The fact that they know X, Y, and Z funded a university or not doesn't really add anything to their life. It's an attachment. The attachment to justice is what brings about the change, because we have we can see for ourselves where there is injustice, and therefore our attachment, our sense of feeling a sense of security and safety is a natural process. So you can see that this process that we have from within us is a process that can either become the source of our suffering or can become the source of our change. Either way, the suffering that we go through causes the change. So how do we then learn to first recognize that it is the sense of I, the self, where am I coming from? And secondly, our moral that all religions organized were nothing more than a man-made control system, and the whole thing was just constructed in order to maintain your belief system. And you had the proof in front of you, and it being the facade, and you saw that, all of a sudden you may not wish to want to be attached to it. So your attachment, my attachment, is just based on our belief. Our attachment is based on the belief that if I have this, it adds something to my life, to my quality of life. The truth, my friends, is this: nothing on this earth belongs to you, and nothing ever will. Because even your body isn't in your control and doesn't belong to you. It is changing by itself. And you and I and all the science in the world will get together and say, we don't want this to change because life is so sweet. It may be full of pain, but we don't want to go because we don't understand that actually existence goes through these phases of growth, decay, and then it restores itself. So, birth, growth, death, rebirth, growth, death. So, even in a day, you will find your dreams come and they go. And while they're happening, they seem really real. You feel the pain, you have the emotions, but you know what? The moment you wake up, it's nothing more than a dream. May leave some residue, but not for long. Not for long. And this life is the same. What was real yesterday has become a dream, dies, they disappear from existence. They come out of nothing, pictures of them. But actually, how connected are we with that? So, forming attachments is the nature of our ego. Right? Haumai. Ego complex. Haumai. It's a natural process. What awakening, meditation, being woke, etc., isn't about what's going on, the fact that you've been bullshitted. The fact is that you know the workings of your mind. Is do not know what meditation is. Meditation is the science of your mind. And your mind is where all your experiences take place, the pleasurable ones and the suffering. So, unless you know the mechanism of how this works, then you can't do much about it. So, that may not be healthy. So, one such attachment is the way life was. There's a new process that's underway. Even with the restrictions being lifted, is there's this kind of a subdued atmosphere. There's people who are furloughed, there are people who have lost jobs, there are people who have injuries, etc. And what was considered to be a regular life um, is no longer regular. And therefore, so maybe I can afford to let go of the way the politics work. Maybe I can afford to let go of the superiority of one race over another, or the superiority of one religion, or dreadful is going to happen tomorrow. All of these are belief systems. Remember, you are not your thoughts. Remember that your mind is all that it has been taught to think. And we have been taught to think and look at life preservation. We are kept in a worldview which is dominated by two sides of a coin: identity on one side, survival on the other. There's another worldview. This worldview of identity and survival will always generate psychologically, um, psychologically situations which will affect your nervous system, your endocrine, matter of time. So People who are attached to their youth or their beauty, when they begin to fade away, when life begins to change, they panic. Not do they just use cosmetics to try and make themselves look younger, but some people will go to the lengths of having their bodies cut up in order to look younger. In order, we cannot defy existence. Existence goes through this process. One of the easiest ways to learn how to learn to let go and also to allow ourselves to recognize how little control we really have is to begin to look at things all around you and notice that everything is functioning by itself. Everything is growing by itself. The earth is revolving by itself. The sun radiates by itself. Your entire body operates by itself. You are not needed as a ego. Now, because the unfolding of the present moment is what you are in. Folding of the present moment can be known as a number of words. And these words are defined by those people who, and what they come up with, the word is hukam. Hukam means that which is unfolding by itself. It's an order, it's an orderly way in which things unfold. Things become born, they grow, and they decay. There's an order of things. You have a seed, you have a plant, you have a bud, you have a flower, you have stamen, you have pollen, you have insects. All of those get together to give you the fruit, to give you the seed. It has a process. You have a process. If we accept this process, that we are part and parcel of it and we are in it, this allows us to let go of control. It's okay. There's a level of trust that we build up. It's okay. Things are moving the way they need to move. And in this trust, we become present. And as we become present in this trust, we notice that the present moment isn't a moment that we are present in, but the present moment itself is presence. It is existence. It is divinity. It is sacredness. And there is no difference between your presence and presence itself. This is a evolution of our meditation. It's an evolution of our meditation that we are using the sound to move towards. And I am now starting to give you more context between how we're using meditation, the sound meditation, but also how it's connected not just to our physical, mental, emotional health in order to tune ourselves, but it takes us to our transpersonal health, our health of consciousness, our health of what it means to be alive and dead and live again, what it means to be part of the continuum, what it means to explore existence in ways that we have felt we have failed to see. Why? Because we were locked in our worldviews. So, I think I've ranted on enough today. So, the message today is very simple. Know that you have this ego, haumai. It ain't you, it is a created sense of self. It likes to create attachments, and those attachments become the source, or one of the main sources, is to learn how to let go. It's a great practice. And the way we do that is as we become more and more centered within ourselves, we notice that everything begins to function by itself. We don't need to let go. So, if we're ready, we will go through our meditation. We will use the word soham again. And we recite it 3 times loud. We recite it 3 times in our kind of whisper. And then we go through a bit of a process until we come back to the mind, and then we use it through the mind to move it. So this is now an exploration of your 3 bodies. So when you say soham, it is the expression of your physical body, the soham. When you are saying it, even when we're saying it from here, it is still the physical body. But when we're taking it into the mental realm, we move into our internal body. And then when we go into the silence, we go into the Karan body. So we're moving from the gross body to the mental, astral body, Antkaran, whatever you want to call it. And then we move a little bit further back into this Karan Suri. this sarir of peace, tranquility, stillness, etc. So, with your eyes closed and your mouth closed, just make sure that your back is straight and upright. You shake it a little bit so it's a bit loose. Make sure your neck isn't stiff either. And with your eyes closed, with your mouth closed, as you breathe in, bring your focus to yourself. So now it's time to notice your physical body as best as you can. So we can use a couple of methods. So let's bring our focus first to the floor or the chair that you're sitting on and begin to feel the weight of our body. The fact that our body is held in place, it has mass, it has substance, it has mass, it has substance to generate sensations. So bring your focus to those sensations where the chair or the floor meets your body. Now, as you bring your focus upwards, you become aware of your hips. Now, again, notice your hips. Notice that it has depth and it has breadth. Your thighs, moving to your knees. From your knees, move this focus down towards your ankle. And then from your ankles, you come down to your feet. Notice that you have toes. This body has toes on both your feet. Now bring your focus back to the chair or the floor. And now we're going to go up our back. So bring your focus to your lower back. As you breathe in to your middle back. As you hold your focus there, see if you can notice that there are sensations as the breath comes in and the breath goes out. They may be really subtle and they extend all the way to your chest. Now bring your focus upwards so you become aware of your shoulder blades. And as soon as you become aware of your shoulder blades, notice that you can relax your shoulders a little bit. Bringing your focus to your shoulders, move it down to your elbows, down to your wrists, palms of your hands, fingers on your hands. Now bring this focus to the back of your neck. As you pull your chin in slightly, notice the back of the neck stretching. Allow that part to relax. Now take your focus to your eyes. Notice that your eyes are closed. Notice that you can still be aware of darkness, or maybe some strips or glimpses of light. But you have awareness. Now allow your eyes and notice the tongue. The tongue tastes by itself. Have you ever considered? Allow your tongue to soften. Notice the sensations on your tongue, your throat, all the way to the tip. Notice the sensations on the roof of your mouth. Notice the sensations on the inside of your mouth. Allow your jaw to relax and allow your face to relax. Bringing your focus to Notice the substance of your body, the wholeness of your body, the fact that you can sense it. See if there's any dominant sensation within the body. Locate it. Notice how the body holds itself in space. It's held in this moment of now, and it's held in the place that you're at. Wherever you are, you can't be anywhere else. Acceptance of here and now. It's always here and now. And the more we recognize the here and the now, the more we embed ourselves in the here and now, the more we recognize our essential nature. And this body that's breathing is only made of the food that it eats, the water that it drinks, the air it breathes, the energy, the prana, the electricity that keeps it alive. For every cell is an electrical battery, and the space it lives in. Your body consists of those five elements: solid, liquid, gas, fire, space. Like everything else, this is the nature of oneness, that we're all of the same substance. On your next breath in, bring your focus to your chest. Notice how you feel in this moment of now. Peaceful, settled, comfortable, pleasant, unsettled, unpleasant, uncomfortable, distressed. How do you feel? On your next breath out, allow you. And we follow the sound of the bell. Notice how it stretches the moment of now from the start until it merges in the silence. Aware. Notice how you feel within yourself. See if you can notice the silence. When you're ready, gently bring your focus just beneath your nose. Observe your breath coming in. Observe the breath. As you breathe out, let go of any intention to control. Your intention is simply to observe the breath moving in, breath moving out. And as you watch your breath, the body begins to restore its balance. Heart rate begins to normalize, blood pressure is reduced, simply watching your breath. And notice how the breath breathes now. Does it feel smooth or does it feel erratic? And flowing, or does it feel like it's panting? Seem long or does it seem short? Stay with your breath. Notice how the breath changes. Now that we have found ourselves into a nice, safe space where the body is balanced, the mind seems a little bit quiet. We're going to now go to our meditation to do with the mantras. And this is quite a deliberate process. So in a moment, when I ask you, you're going to draw a deep breath in. And as the breath comes out, you're going to recite the sound so hum. As long as the breath lasts, go with the sound. And the intention is to simply listen to the sound. Okay? So when you're ready, slow, deep breath in. So so bring your focus to your breath and notice what's happening with your body, if anything. Maybe some subtle sensations. Notice them. We're going to now whisper Soham, again with a long breath. So when you're ready, deep breath in. And again. Once again. Bringing your focus back to your breath. Watch your breath moving in and watch your breath moving out. And see if you can listen to the sound as the breath comes in and the breath goes out. Listening to the sound as the breath begins to come in all the way till the end. and listening to the sound as the breath goes out from the start all the way till the end, as intently as you can. Breathe in, simply off in your mind, so, and as the breathe out, we say the sound hum, again lasting as long as the breath. So begin to mentally recite Soham, synchronized with your breath. The in breath as it comes in, saying the sound so, and as you breathe out, saying the sound hum within yourself. As you're repeating the sound so hum within yourself, notice that you can see if you can reduce the volume of the so hum you're reciting within yourself. Gradually reducing it with every breath out as best as you can. Listening and follow the sound of this bell as far as you can. Listening, allowing the bell to take you as deep into the silence from where you can listen. And deeper. And now, if you can, even let go of the listening moment. Notice how you feel. Notice the quality of your experience. Notice the silence. Notice the stillness. Notice the tranquility, the peace, the calmness. It's your mental body. And from your mental body, now you're in. Gently bring your focus towards the body again. Begin to notice and sense your body. Notice that you're still in the same place. You can sense still upright and straight. Shoulders, arms, hands are comfortable. Eyes are still closed, mouth is still closed, and the face is relaxed. And as you bring your focus to your breath, as the breath comes in, you can sense your body. As the breath goes out, you can sense your body. In a moment, you will hear the sound of a new bell, and in your own good time, opening your eyes. Take your time, wait till the bell finishes. Thank you very much for joining again. Hope you feel relaxed and peaceful. Hope we can see each other again in a few days' time. In the meantime, may you be happy, be peaceful, may you be safe. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji